The weather's dropping fast. It's our last day out of the Lagoon Park for the 2023 season. Join us today on the XP Project. All right, so it is officially the last day of the 2023 season here at the Lagoon Park. Just like that, 3 weeks ago everyone was wearing shorts and tank tops, and now we got beanies and gloves on. I'm wearing the same thing obviously because I'm a boring person. I don't really change my clothes very often, but it is the last day. It is cold out here, really cold. That's the one thing about Utah. It gets cold really fast during the winter and it gets hot really fast during the summertime. But it didn't stop anyone from coming out today. There are a ton of people out here. I'm getting ready to go look at Primordial. I want to see what it looks like on our last day of the season. All right, so one of the things I love about amusement parks is that it tells you so much about like the human psyche. And one thing that this season has told me is that people do not like hot weather, and that is proven by the fact that when I would come during the days when it's like 105 out here, there was just nobody here. I'd walk on everything. Second thing I learned is that people really like Halloween, and they don't mind the cold weather. People bundle up, and I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, you can always bundle up more, but it's hard to take clothes off and still be legal somewhere. So that actually makes a lot of sense, but it's really funny to watch this. Primordial's line just hasn't even moved at all. It's exactly the same as it was pretty much the first day, and I think it's going to be like that throughout the whole all of next season. But I actually kind of thought today was going to be a little bit slower, but people have actually come out to bid the farewell to the 2023 season, and I have as well. So all right, so before I get into anything on this video, I just want to, this day is a really important day to me because I started the channel at the beginning of this season, and now we're at the end of the season. Obviously I'm still gonna be doing stuff during the off season, but I just want to take a minute at first and just thank you guys all for everything. Your views are what make this happen, and I wouldn't be able to do it without you, so I just wanted to say thank you so much. We're gonna be back next season strong. I'm gonna be doing some stuff during the off season, but you know, kind of Lagoon's kind of my thing right now, and it's just been a great year. We had some really good videos. I put up about 130 videos, and I got a lot of cool ideas for next year, but just kind of wanted to say that at first. Just thank you so much for all the support. It's meant so much to me. All right, so I also wanted to give some props to just the Lagoon Park in general. I know that there was like a little bit with the whole Primordial launch. People wanted it a little bit sooner, but I think that they did a decent job with that. But rides have been very minimally down all season, really, for the most part. And I mean, you can't say that about a lot of other amusement parks. I mean, just being out at Disney a few weeks ago, and stuff's down all the time, and they're down for extended periods and whatnot. It's just so nice to see that this park does a really good job with that. Now, they do have the benefit of being closed for almost 6 months. So I think if you know, a place like Disney was closed for 6 months of the year, I don't think they'd have the problems that they do. So that's definitely an advantage Lagoon has, but props to the engineering crew and the people that keep these things going all year long, because we really didn't have to deal with much down. All right, so that leads me to the next question that a lot of people ask me every year. So how long is Lagoon closed for during the off season? So it's not a straight answer. It's a little bit complicated. It really depends on the severity of our winter season. So generally, and this is just kind of going from since I was a little kid, generally the park will open sometime around like that, like March, like end of March time. Sometimes middle of March. They'll set a date for it, but like this last season, like they were slated for that middle of March period, but the snow was just so severe. I mean, we still had like 3 feet of snow on the ground at that time, so they had to keep pushing it back, and we actually didn't see an open until April this year. So if it's a dry year, I mean, we can definitely plan on something around that March time. But if it's a wet year like it was this last year, plan on probably April. I mean, usually by the mid to end of April, there's not really gonna be much more snow. So I would just plan on April if you're kind of looking for a time to plan. But I always say that it's right around that 6 month period that they're closed. But we could have a really dry season. It could open earlier, but it's all just depending on the winter season. You know, it's funny, remember on my last video, I said that if Colossus has 2 carts running, don't be afraid of the queue at all. You'll be good to go. And they've got 2 running today, and it's basically a walk-on. In that video, they had 1 running, and the line was like all the way back to the little carnival games right there. So if there's 2 carts running on this one, it doesn't matter how long the line is, you get into it, it's gonna move super fast. All right, old friend. Well, not really that old. It's time to say goodbye to Wicked for the 2023 season, so I gotta go on it one last time. Let's do it. I usually don't wait in this type of line for Wicked, but with it being the last day, I kind of have to say goodbye to it, so we'll wait in it. It's probably only gonna be, with single ride, it's only gonna be like 20 minutes maybe. It's so funny, it's like during the summertime, everyone's like doing what they can to try to find the shady spots in the line. And then during this time of year, I mean, we're only pushing like 40 degrees right now, so during this time of year, everyone's trying to find like any little sun spot that they can in the lines. It's so funny. It's actually a lot cooler than I thought it was. It's like you first get out here and it's like, oh, it's not really that big of a deal. And then like every hour it starts getting like a little bit colder. Hey, kudos to those people that are gonna stay till 8 o'clock tonight, because I know I won't be here that late. It's like, the temperature is like somewhere between 35 and 40 right now. But by the time this thing gets going, I'm thinking it's probably gonna be like 15, 20 degrees. I don't care who you talk to, it's still my favorite ride in the park by far. And I don't think that's gonna change. If you've never been on a ride in like 30-degree weather, you gotta try it sometime, because it just changes the experience. I mean, going on that in the middle of summer versus middle of winter is just completely different. All right, now that my hands are numb, let's go walk around for a little bit, see if we can warm up. It actually isn't too bad in the sun right now. It's just the shade, it's like freezing, and then you get on a ride that's going like 70 miles an hour like that. It's just, whew, it's cold. I am gonna walk back to Pioneer Village. I wanna walk around there for a little bit just because, as you guys know, it's my favorite part of the park. I don't think I'm gonna be going on Cannibal today because that line was all the way back to the Wheels extended queue. So that's probably like a 45-hour long wait. And Primordial, we all know how that is. It's probably a 2.5 hour wait. So I'm gonna go back to Pioneer Village, walk around for a little bit and kind of warm up. The cold weather's not bothering these guys at all. They're having a great time. Of course, the ride's down, but that's nothing new from this year. You know who's loving the cold weather right now is anyone that has a dog right now. They're just like, they have like the biggest grin on their face, because, you know, during the summer they come out here, but it's just so hot and so miserable for dogs with their fur and everything. But this time of year, it's just great for them. Every dog I've seen has been super happy. I even saw some guy that had a little dog like in his jacket, almost like a kangaroo would have in their pouch. Looked like it was having a great time, so I'm sure the dogs are loving this weather right now. So I don't remember if I mentioned this at all yet, so bear with me if I have, but especially after being out at Disney 3 weeks ago, I can pretty confidently say my favorite time at the parks is summertime. And that actually goes for all of the parks, not just this one or out there in California. It goes for all of them. I love Halloween, but it's not like, I don't know, I'm not as big into it as some people are, but I definitely like the summertime. Pioneer Village right now smells and looks very fall. Halloween season is so great back here. It almost has that smell of like the, well, it's the smell of the fallen leaves, little moist fallen leaf smell, and it really feels like fall back here. I love it so much. Okay, so there's something that kind of threw me off there for a minute. So the fresh salad stand, or restaurant, it's not really a stand, the fresh salad restaurant is open today. And at first I'm like, wait, what? Because that always closes when summertime ends and it's closed throughout the season. But I bet I know why it's open. They probably have stuff left over that they have to get rid of today, possibly. But it was so weird. People are walking out of there with salads. It just looks really weird because it's so cold outside. And I mean, hey, everyone loves a good salad, but it kind of threw me off guard that that was open. Remember, that was always the place I go into to get that air conditioning when it's super hot during the summer. Well, I will say one attraction that has a walk-on today is the hard-served ice cream shop in Pioneer Village. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people eating a ice cream or a frozen banana walking around here in 30-degree weather. I don't know, I mean, to each his own. I'm not judging. I'm just saying I don't think there's gonna be a line at that thing today. You know, speaking of lines with walk-ons, I always like to come back here to Rattlesnake Rapids, which I think is still running. No, it's definitely still running. I thought maybe it would be closed today. I'm looking at the sign. No, it's definitely still running. I'm getting off to the edge here. Let me look and see. No, it's definitely still running. So Rattlesnake Rapids, I'll tell you what, like, that's one thing I love about this park is they don't stop the water rides really. I mean, they've got their little display there over at Cliffhanger. But I mean, I think if the log ride was still around, it would probably be running today. No one is on Rattlesnake Rapids. You can completely walk on that 100 times today with no line. I just love that though, because it's like most parks, like let's just say if Disney was open this time of year, Grizzly River Run would not be open. It would be too cold, they would say. But yeah, this is running. It looks awesome. Just empty carts going by. Nobody wants to ride this thing today. Sorry, Rattlesnake. We'll see you in about 9 months when it's like 105 degrees, and this line will be all the way back to the Dippin' Dots over there. So I did get some questions about this this wood that's up back here, the speculation that there could be a new ride here at some point. I just wanted to look back here and see, because sometimes the last week of a season they might start throwing some stuff in there to get started on something, but there's nothing in there as of right now. Still just a bunch of picnic tables and stuff back there stacked up. This is something, again, I think something's gonna go here at some point, whether it's a new log ride or just some type of ride. But again, I really, and I kind of want to talk about this a little bit, I really don't think we're going to hear anything this next season. I think what Lagoon's going to do, whether we like it or not, is I think that they're going to basically say that next year is Primordial's opening year, because they kind of open late in the season. So I think next year is going to be the Primordial year. And then I think after that, they'll maybe make an announcement on something new coming out. But I don't think we'll hear anything till probably like the end of next year, mid of next year. I just wanted to come back here and just see if there was anything, but there's nothing as of yet. So since we're at the end of the season here, I did want to ask you guys, what were your fondest memories? I'd love to hear of the park this year. I've got two that I can think of off the top of my head. So first fond memory of mine, my niece went on Colossus for the first time this year, and just watching her face on that was so great. She had a great time. She'll be going on it a million times now. So that was definitely one of the fond memories. The other one was definitely the Primordial opening. I haven't actually been at this park on an opening day of anything, and it was just really fun to kind of see that happen. I definitely won't miss another one because it's such a fun experience. There were so many people here and just something so different. So drop in the comments. I'd love to hear what your guys' fond memories from this year were. All right, everybody, kudos to anyone that's staying here till 8 o'clock tonight. I am gonna go thaw out in the car. Thanks for being with us on this last day of the Lagoon season. It's been such a great season. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for the subscribes. It's been a great year. Thanks for joining us on the XP Project.